Hey guys, how is everybody doing? And today I finally got a chance to check out episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again, titled The Hollow of His Hand. Now, this came out on Tuesday. I am about 2 days late as of recording this video, and I apologize in advance. Tuesday, I tried to watch it, but my dad and I usually watch the show together. He didn't get a chance to watch episode 2 with me, so he made me rewatch it. I fell asleep watching it. I got tired, and I didn't really want to finish and I didn't really want to try start the third episode because I knew I was just going to fall asleep watching it. And yesterday, I had some personal things going on to where I wouldn't have a chance to check it out. So I didn't really try and bother to watch it because of personal things. But luckily, I have finally found the time to actually watch the episode and sit down and watch it. I'm also a little bit under the weather today. My stomach's been bothering me. I haven't felt the greatest today, but I feel good enough to sit in front of the camera and talk a little bit. So yeah, it just seems like it's been hell to try and watch this episode. But yeah, I finally got around to watching it, and just a little bit of a recap. For those of you who don't know, I love that original Daredevil series. That is one of my favorite. That is my favorite comic book show of all time. That is one of my favorite Marvel projects ever, and I really enjoyed those first two episodes when they premiered last week. Because I thought those were really good episodes, and it felt like that back to form version of Daredevil. And you could really feel that MCU. Uh, Flavor on it, I guess you could say. So I've been very excited to be for the release of the last few weeks of new episodes, and I was really looking forward to episode 3. And now that we've gotten it, and now that I've officially had a chance to check it out, I really enjoyed it. I do think this was a pretty good episode. So what this episode really is, or what we really follow, is we don't really get a lot of action in this episode. We don't really have any like mind blowing sequences. We don't have a lot of like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. It was more of a court side episode where we follow more of the court side of Daredevil and Matt Murdock, which is one of my favorite parts of the original series, and I'm glad that they chose to focus on that episode because in this episode we follow Hector, who is White Tiger, and at the beginning of the second episode, and what it kind of focuses on a little bit in the second episode as well, is he tries to help this guy, but then in the end he ends up getting some guy get hit by a train, and he finds out it's an officer of the law, and then that kind of creates cold conflict. He has to go to court now, and he has to prove that he's not guilty, that he didn't know that he was a cop, and he didn't mean to kill him. And so throughout this episode, we follow Matt trying to represent him in court and try to prove that he is not guilty and that he did not mean to kill that officer, and he let alone didn't even know it was an officer. So we follow that throughout the entire episode, and we kind of follow more of the court side of it, which I thought was really cool. I thought this episode was very well written. I thought it was probably the best written episode of all three of them so far. Maybe I don't know. I might be mistaken with that statement, but yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. So with that, I really liked how they did that. I also liked how we followed White Tiger a little bit in this. We got a little bit of a tease of him at the end. I won't spoil what happens, but we did get a little tease of him at the end of the episode. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. There wasn't much to talk about, and we also are kind of getting little slips of Fisk going back to his old ways, because in this episode where he finds out White Tiger is not guilty and stuff like that, so they find out that he's not guilty and stuff like that, and then he kind of gets a little upset, and the granddaughter, I believe, of Benny from the original Daredevil series is in the show, which I thought was really cool that they decided to do. She's like interviewing him, and he's talking about how vigilantes shouldn't really be a thing. That's one of his main focuses as mayor, is to make sure vigilantes do not try and get involved with the law or try to get involved with anything, and he wants them off the streets. He does not want them roaming around in the streets and stuff like that. And so and you get those little slips of Fisk slowly coming back to his old ways and kind of going back to his days of a mob boss in a way, and I'm really enjoying that. And another thing with Fisk that I'm not really enjoying so far, I'm more waiting to see what happens throughout the rest of the series, is that him and Vanessa seem to be having relationship issues, supposedly, because after he left and did his hiatus, showing up and making small appearances in other MCU projects with like Hawkeye, Echo, and God knows what else. Like when he took his little hiatus and left, Vanessa took over the Prime business for a little bit, and then that's kind of created conflict that something is going on between those two, and that something isn't right, and so they take couples counseling with Matt Murdock's new girlfriend of the show, and that's kind of trying to create conflict and try to create tension between Fisk and Vanessa, which I'm not fully buying into just yet. There's not really enough there to kind of capture my attention or kind of capture my curiosity in that yet. But yet again, we're only 3 episodes in. They haven't really focused on it too much, but when the times they do focus on it and kind of talk about it, I'm like not interested. It doesn't interest me. I don't think it's worthy to be there just yet, unless it's gonna create this huge climax at the end of the show, or maybe something big with that will happen, and maybe it'll turn Fisk back to his old days of a mob boss officially or something like that. I have no idea. We're only 3 episodes in, but I don't know what to expect from that. I am a bit curious to see where they'll go with that. And yeah, and we also get a little bit of the tease, a little bit more of a tease of not Daredevil, of Punisher in the show, to where we see that this one officer has a Punisher tattoo on his neck, and towards the end of the episode, I won't spoil. There's a guy wearing a vest with the Punisher skull on there. It looks like it's spray painted like he usually wears, and that's kind of setting up to where like there's like this one famous comic book series from the Punisher where officers and like FBI agents are wearing the Punisher skull and all that kind of, I don't know, kind of like not mocking him, but kind of like standing around and kind of catchphrasing as him in a way and all that, kind of taking his identity and stuff like that, taking his logo and stuff like that. That's a really popular run for the Punisher, and they're adapting it here in Daredevil Born Again. I'm really excited to see what that'll bring. I'm just excited to see Bronthal as Punisher again, and that's slowly setting that up, seeing those little teases. We got that at the end of episode 2 with the guy with the wrist tattoo. We got one with the neck tattoo, and we got the guy wearing a vest with the logo on there. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to see where that'll go. I'm really intrigued to see what they'll do with that. I'm also a little curious to see what they'll do with Fisk and Vanessa's relationship problems, which again doesn't have my full attention just yet, but we shall see where that goes. But overall, I'm really enjoying the show. I thought this was a pretty solid episode. It wasn't great by any means, and it wasn't amazing or anything like that. It was just a good episode, and it is worthy of this weekly release dates that they're doing. And I'm hoping to see them do a little bit more progress, because this was a little bit of a from the first 2 episodes, but it was still good. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what the rest of the series will have to offer. I'm excited to see Punisher. I'm excited to see what they'll do with certain people, and like Benny's granddaughter and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what the show will do. I'm excited to see what the climax shall be. And so overall, I really enjoyed episode 3. But let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about Daredevil season 1, episode 3. If you have seen it, please let me know your thoughts about it. Please try to keep it spoiler free, so a bunch of people don't know a bunch of the secrets, stuff like that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe to the bell notification so you will get notified for all my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time.